Hello, my name is Tanya Adam Khan. I'm an integrative psychotherapist in private practice, and I've been practicing for over a decade now with individuals, with groups, the youth, and people from all age groups. I'm here talking about the youth today in specific. The one thing that I keep encountering in my practice as far as the youth go is the conflict that they live with, the anxiety of what it is they should be doing with their lives, identity-related issues, professional, academic issues. Now, seemingly, it looks like this is where the problem begins and ends. But in fact, the roots for it go much deeper into the family system. By that I mean, as children always do, they go through developmental stages in life. And as they go through their developmental stages, they also try and look for independence in each one of those stages. So a toddler has different needs for independence. Somebody between the ages of 7 and 10 will have different needs. A teen will have completely different needs. The issue that I encounter is a family's need collectively to keep the child under the guise of protection, keep the child in a very, very infantile stage, whilst also expecting for them to behave in grown-up adult ways. Now, this is a very conflicting message for anyone going through a very difficult time in their lives where they're trying to identify their place in the world. They're trying to understand who they are, where they come from, what it is they want to do with their lives. And the role that parents play in clarifying or crystallizing that, rather, for the child is absolutely pertinent and very, very important. कल्चरली एक इशू है. कल्चरली हम बच्चों को एक तरफ बहुत ज़्यादा आज़ादी भी दे रहे हैं, एक्सपेक्ट भी कर रहे हैं that they should behave like grown-ups, and then at the same time we also restrict them and we also hold them back. Now I want to talk about the ways in which we hold them back. Typically for any human being, there are a few realms in which we exist. And as you grow older, वो realms और expand होते जाते हैं. Initially हमारी needs बहुत basic होती हैं. Maybe a toddler is just having a disagreement with a parent about what to wear. Maybe a child who's 8 or 9 wants to spend their time a certain way. But parents अपने साथ एक blueprint लेके आते हैं where they expect कि बच्चा इसी तरीके से behave करे, even though बच्चा अपने आप को और दुनिया को जिस environment में वो रह रहा है उसको समझने की कोशिश कर रहा है. But parents उन पे एक पहले ही predetermined एक blueprint है वो उस पे impose कर रहे हैं, as opposed to allowing the child to discover and explore their own personality. Also to be able to make decisions. And if those decisions go wrong, learn from them, how to deal with disappointment. So, for example, teen years mein, if a child is struggling with their body image issues, which is a very, very natural stage in teen years, every child struggles with body image issues. Us time, and in that phase of a child's life, a parent is very imposing with their standards, whatever those standards may be. Now, that doesn't leave any room for the child to discover how they feel, right? And it doesn't leave much room for the child to also express how they feel, which is very important for parents to listen to. Going forward, say in your early 20s, when a child is deciding कि उसने कौन से profession में जाना है, उसने आगे अपनी ज़िंदगी के साथ क्या करना है, predetermined ideas होते हैं family culture में, that are imposed on the child, which doesn't leave much room for them to explore. It doesn't leave much room for them to understand themselves, their needs, maybe their talents, maybe their skills. Expectation unse ye hoti hai that they should know all of these things. But I think the crucial mistake we make as a society is not understanding that they will not know these things. We have to help them explore this. We have to help them understand. We have to help them maybe find their own identity. So what I then encounter in my individual sessions with such youth or such people of this age is that they come in very, very confused. And they're confused because they're straddling two different worlds at the same time. One is their inner world, where they're trying to see and identify their place in the world. And the other is the outer one, where there are, like I say, predetermined impositions, predetermined expectations for a child to behave a certain way. The expectation for them to behave in grown-up ways, but at the same time not being given the liberty to grow up and to actually understand their inner world, to understand how they want to live their lives, what is a priority for them, how do they imagine living, what sort of a person do they imagine becoming. This is a difficult thing for parents to understand because parents खुद भी उसी process से गुजरे होते हैं, and parents खुद भी उसी, when they were children, they also encountered this, they also went through this. So इतनी understanding parents में खुद की नहीं होती, not that they're doing it from a place of bad intent, they're generally doing it because they don't know any other way. But इसी तरह फिर generational एक चीज़ चलती जाती है, and if no one really realizes that every individual is born with a very unique personality type, और उस personality को encourage करना या उस personality को balance में लाना with the outside world is the job of the parent. And if the parent is unable to do it, your child is going to develop symptoms, जो कि हम clinical terms में उसको neurosis कहते हैं, but generally उसको दुनिया anxiety कहती है. उसकी anxiety के symptoms develop होंगे. They will probably have eating disorders, they will have basic anxiety issues, they will have trouble sleeping, they will have a very confused sense of who they are and what is expected of them, and between the two, they will forever be struggling, right? So even when they're in their 30s and 40s, यही सारी चीज़ें वो फिर carry करते रहेंगे. Situations change हो जाएंगी, environment change हो जाएगा, मगर वो inner conflict जो उनमें develop हो गया है between the world and themselves, वो उनमें चलता रहेगा in different ways, shapes or forms. So my suggestion to parents in general and anyone who's planning on becoming a parent is to pause and reflect on what it is that you have been carrying in terms of expectations from the world, whether you were helped through the process of self-exploration, whether you were given the right tools because you were not born with them and your environment was responsible to give that to you. Were you given those tools? And if you weren't given those tools, how did it impact your sense of self? How did it impact your sense of identity? And will you be able to change some of that for your child? And are you, most importantly, able to change it for yourself now, in today's date?